Welcome back to Crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. In what seems like limbo, the rest of the crypto industry is just waiting patiently. Is the next alt season coming right around the corner? I've made many videos to show you that it could be right now, getting ready to gear up. You see, there is no free lunch, friends. There is no free lunch, and most of the liquidity, an exponentially large amount of liquidity, comes at the top. And you're going to see this if we actually do get this alt season and we peak right as the US Fed cuts rates. The bubbles have been moving. What can you really gather from these, friends? It's nice to look at bubbles here and there, plus 3%, minus 5, who cares, okay? We are moving along this curve. I'm going to show you right now. This is it, okay? This is the others chart, okay? This others chart, we have a fib drawn from the top to the bottom. Now, I don't trade off fibs. I don't use them if I'm trading trends or anything else, but they are really important for the big single year or twice a year type of big moves. That's it. Okay, really important. It's more like once or twice a cycle. So you draw on a fib from the top to the very bottom, and you'll get this key zone, 50 to 61%. If you notice, we are still down here. You know, we still have a 50, 65% move, and that will bring us back to April. So what are we actually doing here? See, you don't need to use fibs, but this is where we might be going. All right. You see, if we go back to Bitcoin, friends, I'm going to show you this. If we go back to Bitcoin, look where Bitcoin went. Okay, see Bitcoin here? It went back to March 2022. This was when Do Kwon bought the 40,000 Bitcoin off some insider scum, and then they just dumped it on him at the end. Obviously, probably Rocco Negra, some sort of insiders. They capitulated Luna, destroyed the stablecoin, whatever it is. Okay, it was like, and by the way, down here, okay, down here, see, at first, I didn't think about if there were insiders or not, but then in the midst of this turmoil down here, there were people who leverage shorted USDT to the tune of billions. They tried to take Tether down. They tried to literally send the whole crypto industry to zero. And back then, Tether had not hired FBI and the CIA yet. So they were trying to take everything down, just wipe everything clean. And what ends up happening? So USDC, though, was fine. USDC had no issues. It was just Tether. They really tried to take down Tether. And I remember having a heart attack that morning watching, because I think it was morning, afternoon. I was watching just Tether get smacked, and they were able to redeem, I think, $14 billion in the month. When redeem means people tried to send in 14 billion, and then Tether gave them that much in their bank account. This is everyone else. So they tried to really crack it down on it, right? You see here, Bitcoin has gone back here. Isn't it crazy? It's gone up exactly back here. Now, remember this is April prices, so March, April of 2022. Now, if we go to Ethereum, okay, is Ethereum back there, friends? No, it's not. This is where Ethereum was, okay? Ethereum is not back there. Do you see this zone, friends? This would be Ethereum's 50% retrace on the fib. Let's actually draw here. You see, look at that. I draw it perfectly. This is a 61.8% retrace. So 50 to 60%, it's just whatever it is in this zone. Now, if it was to get back up here, you can see it would be another 35% on ETH. And I'm just going to show you where that would bring us. Remember that number, 35%. If we go to Ethereum versus Bitcoin, so I know this sounds crazy, but what if Bitcoin kind of doesn't move much, okay, in the next moves? If we go to 35% plus, that brings ETH BTC to around 0.08 around here. Now, it's very hard for people to imagine Ethereum moving and Bitcoin not, but it can happen in a step where Ethereum goes up 3 steps, Bitcoin is going up 1 step, and it keeps going, and they move down together, but Bitcoin just reverts back the whole move. Those are the types of things that kind of move the spread back in line, okay? So you can see Ethereum, right? It's got like 30% back to that March, April zone, and they all match up with the fibs. That's the funny part. What I'm going to do now is go back to that index I showed you with the others, okay? Remember, this is total crypto market cap. This is just excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this does include the stable coins. So from here back to this zone, right? This does include stable coins, friends. This does include it. And we're going to look at the other one what we call others as well soon. Instead of a 35%, this is like a 65% move. So that's the dirty, juicy altcoins. What I'm going to do now is check others. And now if we go type in others, so you want to see everyone outside of the top 10. I'll just give me everyone outside of this top 10. What move do we need to get back up to the top? It is also around the 60, 65. Actually, to get to the top here, friends, at the very, very top of this line, because you don't have stable coins in this ruining the market cap, that's a big move. That's another 82%. So what does 82% mean? It just means, okay, let's not think about the actual percentage. Let's think about it in terms of dollars, all right, market cap dollars. So if we get back up to here, we have added, look at this, $167 billion around here, okay? If we go back up to the 150 billion, let's say 150. Now, you don't know, and I don't know, how that 150 billion is going to get allocated. We don't know exactly. You're guessing. You're guessing. We're all guessing. All right, everyone guessing. So if you look at the top 10, okay, look at the top 10 coins, you and me, we're sitting there hoping it's in our bags. So if you go down here, you go outside of the top 10, you go, how much is Avalanche going to get from that pie? How much is Tron, Polkadot, Chainlink? Okay, all of these, of course, going to have Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex. How much is Molestia going to get from it? These are the types of questions that obviously no one knows, but we're all just hoping everything just goes up. And of that 150 billion, the biggest winners are going to be basically predetermined. You have no idea. You have no idea. It could be the ones that have sold off the heaps. It could be new cycle coins appear. That's also another possibility. Like a new season might start in the next few months. So you never know, friends. That Grift Insider Trash EVM chain, the Satoshi EVM, even though I joke about it, it might have a season. It might do another 10x from 100 million market cap up to like 1 or 2 billion. It could do that. Okay, I'm not saying to buy. I'm not touching it. But if it does do that, all the meme coins and all the trash on it just starts getting launched and everyone just starts punting around on it. And see that would take up like 2 billion-ish worth of that 150 billion. And that would be a big market cap price. But you never really know, okay? So this just shows you that the move for Bitcoin is done. Remember, Bitcoin's gone, doesn't have much. Ethereum's got like 30%. And then these have like 60 to 70%. So it's kind of telling you like altcoins at the very, very end. This is the spear and the laggard effect. You can see that, right? So Bitcoin's already here. Ethereum is like here. And then we are here. We are basically just right A for alts. We're right there. You see that? The spear's the first one. Ethereum's kind of going to add on a bit more risk. And then we are the altcoin. So people still holding Ethereum, just know that. Look, man, I've got Ethereum too, friends. I'm just telling you, you don't have any business holding Ethereum if you have less than a 7-figure portfolio. Just telling you. Okay, you have no business at all. Why? You are going to get, what are you going to get? Your nice, see, from here to 10K is a 4x. What if we stop at 8,000? That means you're at 3x. But here's the thing, you're not selling at 8,000. You're not selling at 9,000. You are not selling before 10K. So you're not even going to sell out at your 3x, your 3.5x. It's going to tick there. You're going to look at it for like a day or a week or a month thinking that the next 3 months is going to be another plus 50%. But it might stop at 9K. What if the next 90 days it goes back down to 6K? Okay, that's a 2.5x from here. Like, just what business do you have in that, friends? Even if you had 500 grand, think about it, 500 grand in Ethereum. If think about it, if you were that bearish, by the way, on Ethereum not hitting 10K, then you'd be in other altcoins anyway. You know what I mean? So 500K, let's say you did get a 10K. 500K, you have 2 million. You're giving the government tax of 1.5 million. You got to give them 500K, you're back to 1.5 mil. Okay, enjoy it. Enjoy that while you're going to watch all altcoins fly. So this is the reality of the world you got to deal with. Now, not many people are comfortable leaving anything and anything else. That's why we do the research 18 hours a day. You know, friends, even we're learning from Warren Buffett, right? How people measure risk is completely wrong, right? We learn at university. They say risk is just the volatility of your price thing going down or up. No, it's not. No, it's not. So, friends, if you live in a street and there's literally a gambler in your street, let's say it's a gambler and his meth head, all right? There's a gambler and his meth head, and every house in the street's worth 500,000, but he needs money like literally tomorrow, or he's going to get his legs blown off. He's got to sell his house for like 250K liquid. Okay, he just makes that full sell. Okay, now think about that in the context. That drags your average price in the house down, the average house in the street down. Is that risk for you? Right? Is that risk? But you might think, okay, it's a price quote risk. That's not a real risk because fundamentally you go, wait a minute, it's still a house. People can still live in it. What's the risk? Okay, it's going to be a tornado this season. I'm not in a non-flood zone. Everything's fine. There's no like mass unemployment or anything. You see what I mean? There's the same thing with businesses, the same thing with valuing assets. Risk is basically stuff you don't know. That's what it is. The risk of the fundamentals, the things you don't know. That's the risk. Now, there's always a certain part of risk, but risk starts off huge, okay? And then, see, here's the thing, friends. Bonds, for example, most people don't know what a bond is. Well, I would say to you that's super risky because you have no idea. Just because the price doesn't move up and down heaps doesn't mean it's not risky. Because if you know nothing about a bond, you are going to get crushed minus 50% in the next 10 years. You're going to lose all your purchasing power. That's huge risk. But you're going to see this price, the USD price quote, not move around much. So if you don't know anything about bonds, you know nothing about inflation, your risk is enormous. But the government will say, no, it's a least risk thing. Okay, that's how we measure it, right, out there. So our job, my job, as your friend with a straight posture, wearing a cool cap, we're here to research stuff, and we have this big ball of risk, and slowly just trying to chip away at it. Chip away this big granite wall of risk, just chip, trying to figure out, okay, founders, leaders, tokens, token supply, where we are relative to everything else, the cycle. Slowly, as you just uncover everything, everyone's risk is like this by default. If you can get yours as small as possible, right, you know your unknowns, and you're comfortable with them, right? You never really get fully comfortable, friends, because you never know the future, but you just get more comfortable compared to the average person, and that's ultimately how you bink it. It's not by buying the least risky thing or thinking you have to know absolutely everything or farming stable coins or doing these other little trash games. Okay, that's not the way to win. So when it comes to us, right, looking at this altcoin index, that's what we're seeing right now. So obviously, yeah, what's the risk? The risk is there's a black swan event, something comes down, it pisses us off, and then we don't ever catch up. Yeah, that's the risk, man. That's the risk. But I like the fact that altcoins outside the top 10 are still cheap, the cheapest. I love that. Now I told you, right? The blue chip, the crowd consensus is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now you get to see why. They have the least margin of safety, which is their run to the all-time high. Bitcoin doing plus 50% takes you to the all-time high. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay, you're risking a whole 1 unit for plus 50%. Think about it. I also want to throw this in, friends. There's been some really risky stuff. So please, if you're using, for example, Pulse Chain bridges or any bridge, do not just go to Google, okay? This person unfortunately lost $20,000 on a scam Pulse Chain bridge. They went to Google, they typed in Pulse Chain bridge, and the first link was a malicious Trojan. So what you should always do, please, is you always ask people, go to Telegram chats. I know, don't DM people, go to the public chats, check them out. What I also do is go to Twitter and just type in like Pulse Chain bridge or anything else. Go to Twitter, try to go to official links in Twitter to find the actual websites. If you're trying to go to a coin website, go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and find their ranking, and then actually just type them in and try to go to their community webpage there. They'll give you the full website. Okay, and now quickly back to the prices, right? So we're in a bit of a pickle zone, because we honestly, friends, this is like, it's always 50-50. Oh, things are going to go up or down. But now it's actually 50-50. Really, and I mean by 50-50 in terms of this, okay? I have the Bitcoin chart here with the Mt. Gox Ponzi fractal, the yellow. And the orange is just a fractal of itself, which might be that, okay? So the yellow, if the yellow continues, is just going to be staircase up only like that, all right? And then this goes down. Why is it 50-50? Well, on the green, actually, let's talk about the bad part first. The bad part is we have an inverted yield curve. Okay, so this part, okay, we have, right, the inverted yield curve. We have stock market. It's now year number 14.5 of its bull market. And we have not had a big unemployment reset. We haven't had those. And they're about to cut rates for the first time. Okay, so historically, the odds are against right, the stock market rising. It's against it. So if we're bringing up stocks, okay, the odds of it going up, they're not zero, but they are not healthy. Right, so here we are right now. And you looking at these stocks going, wait a minute, you are in a big run. Yeah, that's why we talked about complacency, friends. Complacency is everyone saying we just need to cool off for the next rally. There are people complacent about the yield curve. There are people complacent about how inflation hasn't really come down as fast and everything. There's just, you know what I mean? There's a big reset needed. We don't know when it is. These things can go a long time. So it is possible that something bad happens, right? The yield curve is pricing in. However, the last time we had the yield curve invert, it was zombie virus. All right. Now, I have told you this. Everybody, what's everyone looking for? Everyone's looking for this. Everyone's looking for, oh, sweet, another zombie virus. I don't think we're going to get that. I think there's like 0% chance we get that. There's always a chance. There's always like 5% chance. But because everyone's looking for that black swan, a vertical crash down, that's what everyone wants. Okay, so what everyone wants is, okay, we're like, hey, crash down, the Fed will print money and put rates to zero, and then we just continue again. Okay, and crypto has a big bull run. That's what everyone wants. What if we just do this? Okay, and you know what I mean? What if that happens, friends? What if makes it really, really, really hard? See, this is now 2025. You see this? This is now 2025. It's either going down or it's going up. Obviously, probably not the up part, okay? That's what will make it difficult for us. In all the previous bull runs, stock market's doing this, okay? Literally just new highs. That's what it's doing. So it's 50-50. It really is. I promise you, friends, it's actually 50-50. On one hand, we have this stock complacency. We know we need to end somewhere. We know. It's just that stocks, their complacency run, it does not have to end now. But I don't want to give hopium because time's running out. The yield curve's been inverted and any day now, right? So that part happens. But you might say, okay, that sounds pretty bearish. No. On the other hand, okay, literally, the 4-year cycle has been playing out tick for tick. And I promise you, tick for tick. This is even the others index. So yeah, this is the others index overlay with itself. Look, it's still, if it just repeats itself, it's like literally an up only run this whole year, right? If we do that. But if we go to BT coin right here, that yellow line, let's move the orange away. Tick for tick, friends. The bottom, the second bottom, recovery, sideways, breaking out. This is the Bitcoin ETF run. Okay, here we are. And what I've done, friends, you see this yellow fractal? You see, I've got some of you baby dolls ask me, can you please, like, what happens after this fractal? Why does it just stop here? Well, it doesn't stop here, friends. It's literally freaking up only. And what I've done is I've got the full completed version of it right now. If you put that fractal here, look what it's happening. So I don't want to just believe this thing can easily happen, but I do hope it does, right? I hope it does. But you see, the last time Bitcoin did this in 2016, 2017, the stock market was in roaring new highs. But it's crazy because like I can't be biased. I'm telling you, look, it is in new high. Like it's about to pop new highs. Okay, so if this just keeps happening, then yes, that's exactly what we're going to get. We're going to see this pattern of this fractal play out. Now here's the thing. This isn't the top of the cycle, by the way. If you match the top of the cycle from before, you still get another. See, the cycle I stopped it at was here. You still get another freaking 6x. So if you do like a 6x from here, that's where people get. I don't know if you've seen like a $700,000 Bitcoin target, 500 to 700,000. Yeah, that's where it basically does that. But it's just, they diminish each cycle. So don't think that. Okay, don't think that. But if you're just looking at it, we're exactly where we need to be. Exactly. All right. And we have enough people bearish. This is the crazy part, man. We have enough people bearish and enough people bullish to just maybe go sideways. And then what? All right, now then what? Now, the US Fed is expected to cut rates in either here March or May. All right, March or May. Cut rates. They were never in this sort of cycle type of reversal thing before. So if we go there, I'm just wondering, like, of course, what the hell's going to happen? You know, there was a scenario I heard from Blockchain Backer, which made me think, wow, this would like make me bullish. I think it makes him bearish, makes me bullish. It's a scenario where, all right, it's a scenario where, friends, let's draw this out. It's not anything visual, but I'll show you. We get to March or May window here, all right? And then the US Fed cuts their rate once. And then the next data point for CPI spikes up, right? And now everyone's like, uh-oh, right? The Fed is like cornered. And they're like, what do you do? The inflation rate, the public inflation rate ticked up again because everyone's like pre-bullish straight away. What happens? Okay, what happens? That is the like 50-50 scenario. Does the stock market crash, or does the stock market rally, or does it just go sideways? Maybe sideways is what it does, friends. Okay, maybe that's what happens. Maybe the stock market goes sideways to give us this rise up to 80K somewhere. And that's one of my scenarios. One of the, yes, 2024, if this year finishes red, sure, we basically got to go all in. Markets are daring you. Go all in, don't do leverage. Maybe DCA if there's more blood in like 2025, but we're going to have like 2 years. When we start going up, it's going to be 2 years of up only. But if this year is green, it might be another blow off. Like we might finish, friends, this year at $80,000 Bitcoin. It could be the top at the end of this year. This was one of my scenarios last year. And I envisioned, what if Donald Trump wins and then the stock market has the final mega euphoria? The final mega euphoria, right? That's, you see all these moving parts. What if they have to hike rates again, friends? What if they have to literally hike rates again? You know this part happened, right? I'm glad we're going through this because I just want to show you what's possible, because I have here an invert. I have the interest rates to show you what the Fed has done before. Look. You see this yellow line? This is the Fed and its hiking cycle back around the stock market bubble, okay? The tech bubble. So the Fed, look what it's done, friends. It's had periods where this was that famous soft landing. So the Fed cut rates and then they expected a recession. But look, the recession never came. They cut rates again. Look at this. And then they had to hike rates. They had to hike rates and everything crashed, right? You never know, man. We might be here, friends. We might be here in terms of we just hiked rates. We come back down. Like that's what it might be. It might be we cut rates and then like there's no crash. This is what we call the soft landing. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Right, then that's what happens. So I'm telling you, just see. This is why trying to predict this stuff, you can't. You can't. Our job isn't to predict this stuff. Our job is to just take good bets. Okay, and so far, the 4-year crypto cycle has been playing out tick for tick, day for day. So I have all my theories up or down or left, right, this going, all of that. Throw it out. Honestly, throw it out. We are still long. That's it. But you still be careful, okay? Because you just never know how many weak hands are leveraged long with you. So that's exactly where we are right now. We can make a case for everything goes to poop literally tomorrow. But on the other hand, the 4-year cycle, spooky, is playing out because the spiritual successor of Mt. Gox has been FTX, okay? So what do you do from here? Well, obviously not financial advice. I'm still turbo long altcoins because also the market cut off our alt season in 2021 early. Maybe alts catch up now. I guess we're going to have to just see what happens in that euphoria. Okay, maybe some trimming of profits to buy back in. But here's the thing, man. Like, even if you buy back in 20% lower, whatever drops another 50%. So you're not going to be fully 100% protected, but that's where we are right now, moving this picture along. And make sure you like, subscribe, belly button. I'll catch you soon.